Hello and welcome to another update video about Cardano. In this video we're going to take a look at the Cardano chart and the Bitcoin chart. Cardano back over $2, which is great, and Bitcoin moving up as well. We start with Bitcoin briefly. I've identified a channel on the Bitcoin chart. We talked about this ABC correction, and now we can actually identify here a channel. I haven't seen that anyone else mention it, which doesn't mean that nobody else hasn't done it, but haven't seen it anywhere else. And in my view, this is a valid channel for now. We've got 1, 2, 3 touch points down here, 2 touch points up there, and it could give us some orientation where the Bitcoin price might be heading. We have that two things here. First of all, we've got that important resistance level here at the B wave. This resistance is at 63.6k. I did say before, we need to get above that to continue our way to the upside and make the move to the downside into that target range here between 54 and 57k less likely. Now, even if we drop once more here into this target range down here where we already were, by the way, but even if we do it once more, then it would be a bullish scenario in my view. If we find support down here, it is a bullish scenario and we will go from here to new all-time highs. That's what I currently believe. However, if we hold these support levels here, so this is obviously an ascending trend line. So we currently find support here at 60.7k, 60.8k. Yeah, because we've got an ascending one. So that's changing all the time. We're currently back over the 20-day moving average, but as I already said, seems like the Bitcoin price isn't really respecting at the moment the 20-day moving average. It doesn't really care about it. We're moving sideways, sort of, with a slight moving angle to the upside. However, I think that's positive. A channel to the upside is bullish. Yeah, that's my view here at the moment. We are in an uptrend. Maybe we're continuing what we did back here. Yeah. However, it is still not. It is still quite likely that we drop down here once more. If we don't manage to get above that 63.6k. Now, where could the price be heading now? Now, if we do what we did the last two times here with this channel, it's likely now that we would go either to the 63.6k or even go to that resistance line here, which is basically the top of that channel. Now that could take us to 65k, which I think is quite likely that we try that once more. Now again, just because we managed to hit 65k doesn't mean that we are now really above the 63.5k, because it could just be a fake out, a bit like what we did here. We touched that resistance line, came back down. So it wasn't really a sustainable push above that resistance level. So what we could do, potentially move up here, and from there probably, because we're in a channel, down here again. Yeah, we could do something like that. It's a possibility, again, not guaranteed, but it's a likely possibility. However, it would help us in our move further up. Yeah, at some point then we need to break to the upside. So maybe we do something like that here. It's just an idea, just a suggestion. Just tell you these levels to look out for. So on the upper side here, first of all 63.5k, and then the 65k level here, which is the resistance level of that channel. If we drop down, we could obviously break out of that channel to the downside. That would be, if that happened today, would be around 61k. If we drop below that, then we might find support here at the previous low at 60k. 60k is quite an important level. And then we could drop down again in that target box and retest this level here somewhere, find a support, maybe even find support here at the previous low here, that C correction, yeah, which is however actually now down here because we made this other sort of quick flash crash, which briefly happened, but I guess we would find support here in this area of trade at around 58k as well. My hope obviously is that we continue to go up. But again, if we are not above 63.6k, it is less likely that we continue to go up. I would rather then say that we come down once more. But at the moment, just indecision in the market. The market is waiting for Bitcoin to make a move. All right, what is Cardano doing? Cardano is back above $2, which is nice because probably Cardano is following Bitcoin finally. And we saw that basically on the ADA BTC chart. That's ADA BTC, by the way, just to show you that this ADA BTC has sort of flattened out a little bit. It really could be a first sign, or maybe more now than a first sign, that we have found support down there. And I'll come to the ADA BTC chart in a minute. But ADA, Yeah, we can identify a few patterns here. Don't want to overwhelm you with patterns. We obviously had that A, B, C, D, E. Then in my view, we can pull a trend line now within that A, B, C, D, E triangle, continue that potentially, and could argue that we might find some support here at $2.10, which would be supported by that white resistance line. I'll take it out now because it gets a bit messy. Then we also had this ascending wedge, which is that light blue one, which is a possibility as well. It's not, we don't have enough touch points in my view, but it could be a likely possibility. Actually more than here, then we have 3 touch points, 1, 2, and 3. So that could be an ascending wedge, out of which it would be likely, not guaranteed, but likely to break actually to the upside. Yeah, that has now formed. Until then, we couldn't really see that, but now this has formed, and we could see something like, maybe even another slight drop here, down there, and then from there a move up. Yeah. So again, it's what I said about the ABCDE correction that we were in previous videos. Find somewhere another level down here at around 181 or lower. We touched 181 already, so we hit the target level, and from there then continue our wave 3 to the upside, in with which we still are. Now, the fact that the 200-day moving average is down here will give us some support. However, we did it previously, I think in July, we dropped below the 200-day moving average, but then when we then turn around, then we had a massive run, as you know, throughout August. So yeah, Cardano really picked up. So far here we found support at 190 or 191, and we obviously now on our way back up, and maybe do a breakout now above out of this descending wedge. Now if that happens, today, let's just assume it, we would have a breakout point here, which is currently at 206, 205, 206. Now we could break out from here, and that is also the 20-day moving average. So if we break out from here, 206, and you see that could be really the breakout point today. Yeah. Of course, last time we also had a bit of a struggle to get through 210 and then 215. So these are smaller resistance levels to look out for as well. But I think the key one here is now, because this is always going down, this descending trend line, it is 205, 206. Yeah. And then we continue our way up. So looking good so far, in my view. Yeah, it's looking good so far, and I'm just waiting for that move to the upside. I did tell you in the previous video, the Cardano chart is looking really good actually, even though people get bored and whatever, but it is looking really good. It's cooling down, and actually we also have a buy signal on the MACD on the daily. Yeah, you can see that here, a buy signal on the MACD on the daily, and you can see where the MACD line is down here. It has so much room now to grow if it finally breaks out and starts. So also I showed you on the daily here that RSI that we need to break out of. That RSI level of 50, yeah, we've been below that, well, since September really, since the second week of September. If we break out of that, I think we're gonna have a run. Last time that happened, we broke out. That was here also in July, end of July, and we had a massive run. Since then, we've been below the 50 line. In my view, that is an important breakout point. So get quite a quick look at AWTC. AWTC, we also on the daily had a buy signal end of October. And we now can identify also on the daily, you can see that, a bullish divergence. We're making higher lows on the RSI, which is an extremely good sign. Last time that happened, we started a run. Yeah, so we had a bullish divergence already before. You can see that here, massive bullish divergence. Well, not massive, but we did I think a double bottom there, but we had a higher low, a much higher low on the RSI. And yeah, that happened obviously, and we have something similar here, even though this is actually a lower high on the price. Sorry, a higher low on the price. No, a lower low on the price, sorry, and a high low on the RSI. So that is a bullish divergence, and that is always a first heads up that we are turning around here. And I told you that already. I think we saw it on the lower time frames already here emerging, and now we have it confirmed on the daily, which is important. So far we found support here at the previous low. So looks like that we really didn't, or not getting lower there for the moment. You can see that the downward momentum is losing steam. Yeah, look at that trend line. Look at that trend line. It is less steep, far less steep. So it is a confirmation for me, or at least a heads up, that things might be changing now, and that we continue potentially somewhere from here our move to the upside. Yeah, at some point I would expect a breakout now. If we turn around here and then get above one of these highs, for example at 3,270 or possibly 3,550, that we then really get a run as we did here. So I think really a Cardano run is very, very imminent. It doesn't mean it has to happen on the weekend or whatever, but I think it's very imminent. Looking at what the price did in the past, we always had these periods of turning around where Cardano then outperformed Bitcoin massively. And honestly, it is due a run. The chart is looking really good. Also from an Elliott Wave point of view, it's looking really good. I talked to you about that in a previous video. We've got this bullish chart here where we're touching the 200-day moving average, and from then we'll go up. That's what we did last time. And to be honest, people are always chasing cryptos that have already run. Cardano hasn't run yet. I think it will get a lot of attention in the next few weeks, and I expect another run. Now again, I could be wrong. Nobody has a crystal ball. That's what I expect. Hope you liked the video. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. Thank you. Bye bye.